J360 Radio.
Hello, J360 Legion, and welcome to the J360 Mini Bites here on J360 Radio, hosted by J.M. Brady. I am your host, J.M. Brady. Let's get into it. Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? What is happening? This is J-Man, of course, and welcome to the Mini Bites for episode 224. Man, these books I'm looking at are old. Jesus Christ. It's been a minute, hasn't it? I know. Yeah, I was gone for about a week or so. Feels like longer, but you know something? You gotta admit, if you've been putting up with me for quite some time, it's weird when I'm not doing shows, isn't it? Yeah, you didn't get nothing from me for a while, y'all, but trust me, it's all for a good cause when I take off for a little bit. Not only for mental clarity, but at the same time, you know, I need to go ahead and work on something else. I have a bigger project in mind for all the J360 shows and everything, so it had to be done. And not to mention, like, you know, I'm always looking towards the future. You know, you're supposed to move forward, not backwards. But there are times where in order to go forward, you got to make sure everything is all set and ready to go. Such as, like, you know, about your enjoyment of the shows on Mixlr, and then, of course, you know about the shows on Red Circle. A lot of y'all know about the shows being on Apple Podcasts, and some of y'all know about it being on YouTube. Matter of fact, I went ahead and I cleaned up the section of YouTube. Yep, so you do get J360 radio shows in syndication, as long as YouTube is not over there trying to block them out. So, you know, they do have their own spot, so you get to look at them in addition to some of the other stuff I worked on. Even the short films I did for J360 way back in the day. You know? So, you get to have a pretty good enjoyment of things happening on the YouTube channel, if you will. However, I am not a fan of what they've been doing to a lot of the content on YouTube. Such as, like, with J360 Jams being syndicated, those episodes, if they ever go through, and if you ever listen to them on YouTube, you're a champ. I mean, because as far as I know, anytime I see them, YouTube either has them on there, and then all of a sudden they block them out. They try to make sure that they don't land at all, or they try to go ahead and say, ooh, copyright this. And you know what? There is no copyright other than the copyright that me and the Jam Fam have made together, which I do have license to put those on any network I want to. You know what I'm saying? Because it helps out J360 Jams. That's the point of the show. But, you know, for some reason, YouTube doesn't want to listen because we keep having this argument every so often. And you know what? Even though I'm well within my rights and all that crap, I look at YouTube and I'm like, see, this is why I don't hang out with you. You know? But there are other ways of doing things. And like I said, you know, the radio station is still where you need to go to. And then not to mention, like, the premium channels are still being worked out. So, you know, been getting a lot of love there. A lot of y'all have noticed. I mean, if you go on the Ko-fi.com/J360 Productions, which you can actually support everything that we do via that one, because that's one of the channels, you can actually tune into a lot of the stuff that we have. In addition to, like, some of the previous seasons, though, you know, and I'll dive into this more in depth once it's really ready to go. But if you want to do some support for J360 Productions, it's entirely up to you. You can do it as a one-off or you can do it as a membership. But I would like to say hold on a little bit and be a member because all that stuff is going to pay off for you. It's just one of those ways that we have been working. Some of you have already done some one-off donations, and I'm thankful for it. It has been very helpful. But, you know, just wait until everything's nice and done, you know what I mean? Where the paint is settled, if you will. But that is one of the spots there in our main donation pile. For right now, anyway. But I gotta say this, in terms of, for you guys to get the full effect of J360 Productions, I gotta go bigger. I gotta go beyond that. So, you know, I'm getting tired of social media. I'm getting tired of all those nonsense that they try to pull. Or, you know, allegedly it's either I cuss too much, or the music allegedly is not up to their par, or there's some sort of other nonsense that they be throwing down the pipeline. It's just getting really stupid. So I'm like this, look, I got another channel, another place to be at, so let's go ahead and work this out. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of y'all noticed it because I was over there letting you know that 3 J360 TV shows are there, and you can listen to them all in full effect Well, not just listen, you can watch them too. I mean, it is J360 TV, if you will. And it is Rumble. Yep. The Rumble channel has been activated. And needless to say, anytime YouTube does one of their, oh, we got to be squeaky clean, we can't allow this kind of content, definitely it'll be on the Rumble. So now you know exactly where to go outside of that for your J360 TV fix, if you will. You know, like, if anything, you have to maintain your house, everybody. You know, like, the thing about the content is, I would have loved to have made, like, a whole bunch of new episodes for you guys last week and all that. But it just wasn't the time for it. I had to go ahead and fix this problem right then and there. So it's one of those moments where, you know, when you're the leader and you are the owner, you are going to have to go ahead and bounce something a little bit differently. You're going to have to work on this new strategy of doing things. That being said, I'm not turning my back on YouTube, which, by the way, thanks to a lot of new subscribers that landed on YouTube, really appreciate you. Like, any of this stuff is really helping J360 Productions grow. And, you know, like, if anything else, it just means that you're listening, watching, waiting for the next big thing to happen. And trust me, you got some opportunities coming your way. Don't you worry about that. I mean, this has just been really, really cool for me, you know? And not to mention a lot of the growth outside of YouTube, too. You know, it's a win. It's all a win. But I'm saying, like, I don't want them blocking out content. I don't want them trying to bastardize the work that I've made in addition to the collaboration work that I've made over the years. We ain't gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, while we're going about that, you know, you guys know about the Rumble. The Red Circle and the Mixler are staying, so you don't have to worry about that going anywhere. Ah, damn. I was like sitting there, I was like, really? People are still going to Spreaker? And it was wild though, because like there were people that thought I left and that I wasn't working on anything else. I mean, I've only been announcing so many times that we were moving. So, you know, sometimes things happen, but at least they're getting the point now. And also, I have done some digging to see that Facebook, and the Facebook has been growing. I'm not going to knock that. But I've also been seeing some stagnation on the Instagram. But as soon as I got rid of some of these people were like following, they kept posting a bunch of dumb shit. So I went ahead and I erased them off of my feed. And then as soon as I got rid of them, I found a bunch of people I haven't talked to in years. So whatever the hell Meta is doing regarding Instagram, and you notice that you haven't heard from people in a while, and they're still posting, by the way, you know, you really got to dig deep through your community and make sure that, you know, the people that you want to engage with, that you want to talk to, are still there. In addition to, like, you know, those that you have not met yet. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get to know all sorts of creators. I want to get to know, like, you know, also grow the fan base. I mean, we all want to grow our fan bases, but I really want to make sure, like, you know, the ones that are out there that to work with and all, that they're there. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that I've already have established, you know, good rapport with, I hope that they're there too. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, I had to get rid of a whole bunch of that nonsense just to make sure, like, the right people are still there. And well, like I said before, it's about being an owner. It's about really stepping up to your whole thing. You cannot get lazy at certain points of the game. Now, you can go on vacation or whatever, but, you know, you have to always make sure that you keep a clean house, which is what today's episode is called. You know, keep the house in order. Which means, like, the people you work with, which means the materials you use, which means make sure, like, everything keeps flowing into the way it needs to. Otherwise, you'll have too much shit here, things get bloated, you get lazy, and then it looks like an episode of Hoarders or Abandoned or one of those things. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Urban Explorers and stuff, like, where they go through, like, abandoned houses and stuff. And I look at it because, like, you know, it's the history of those houses, and why would anybody up and leave? And then some people, well, you know, we're only here for a limited time anyway, have no choice but to. So, yeah, it'd be wild. And I look at some of those things, and then I look over at, like, J360 Productions and all, like, the workshop in general, and I'm like, you know, I need to go ahead and clean all that stuff up. So, you know, I've been working over there, rearranging, reorganizing, restructuring, putting things in their proper places, but you know how it is, like, I think I used to say this a long time ago, never touch an animator's desk or a writer's desk or, anybody that's working in like pre-production or line production stats. It's different when it's yours. That shit needs to be clean. I was like, yo, I got to take care of this, get all this stuff rearranged and pronto. So that's where I've been pretty much handling things. And then not to mention like some of the other stuff here on the good old internet. Like, for instance, what I told you guys about the YouTube channel, and then like, Rumble being active. Don't worry, it'll be circulating again soon, so you'll know the link. Plus, it'll be in the description box below. So anytime you see like, where you can support us at, it'll be right there. And not to mention, you have 3 J360 TV shows circulating in production, and then also you got the 3 radio shows right here. So that's 6. And then I'm sure if you've been paying attention long or been around J360 Productions as a super fan, like some of you have, you already know what the 2 other series are. So, just pay attention, because you're going to see a lot of this stuff just rotate on in. But I'm just happy to see like all this stuff is just fluctuating and coming back together. And of course, for those of you that have been paying attention about Soda, yeah, Soda's back on the air. It feels so good to be sitting back talking with Marco and Mustafa about certain things that are going on. And believe me, there's a hell of a lot going on. But, as it is, it's just good to see the adventure continues. But in addition to the adventure continuing, while I was away, I did see a few things such as like, content creators always doing that same old jazz, like, with AI on the rise, and everything is just gonna happen in such a bad way. It's just, I don't like the way it all looks. Yeah, it looks crazy now, but in the future, though, the future is what we make. I mean, like, at the end of the day, yes, everything is in a tailspin right now, but here's the thing. We are hired by people, but the people don't own our skills. They might own some of the productions that we worked on with them or whatever it may be, but they don't own our skills. We can make something 10 times better. Hell, I do it all the time. When there's something that I worked on for, like, say, like at my current day job, it's a project that I worked on and was leading, but the thing about it is, it's not my end-all be-all. Even the shows that I have right now are not my end-all be-all. I'm making something new every time. They don't own my skills. You see what I'm saying? I wish people would look at like AI for what it is, because it's not really all that Terminator shit that we grew up with. Believe me, it's a J-Man Show topic, and I'm going to have to dive back into it a little bit more in depth, but I want you to know that you really have nothing to worry about unless you are just really not good at the craft, which is ironic, because if you take all the time that you need outside of worrying about shit, you probably could handle this stuff a lot better. We all need to react to things a little bit better. I'll just be perfectly honest with you. And you see, that's why they purposely try to throw bad news at us. And this end is nigh stuff that most of us all do, it's getting damn old, don't you think? For real. We got to stop it. And not only that, let me go ahead and give you some good news. It's Jams Week this week. Jams 99 is coming on Friday. And, it's still plenty that are open. Plenty of open spots here for any of you musicians out there. Email me at j360jams@gmail.com, so that I can consider your music. You need 2 tracks to play, though. They got to be MP3 or WAV. But, yeah, submissions are open. And then not to mention, like, oh, God, guys, we got a lot of good things to be looking forward to. Do not get wrapped up in, like, sadness and all this other stuff. We're going to be okay. All right? I mean it. We are. And if you don't believe me, you can stay tuned for the J-Man Show happening tomorrow at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, where I go ahead and I remind you that we can really get through all of this. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, I'm already saying too much, and I got to go ahead and clean up the rest of this stuff. So, you know what? We will meet up again soon, but it's good to be back, and y'all take care of yourselves. This is J-Man signing off. Peace.